Well guys, first dirt for me anyway on this KFX. Let's see how she does, see how she feels. Give her a little shakedown run after the slight refurb we did to it. Getting used to the gear ratio, that's for sure. It's definitely different than the Raptor. You go through the gears quicker. It seems like more of a close ratio transmission. Fifth is a lot taller than first through four. First through four is very tight. That's how it seems to me. Oh yeah. She don't turn like a Raptor, that's for sure. And she gets sideways real fast. See how she goes going slower. First gear. All right, definitely gonna be some getting used to. She gets up and goes. Also, I noticed doesn't mind being lugged, which is nice for a 450. The tires just have no traction. I still have the original stock KFX tires on here from 2008 with about, I don't know, 35-40% tread left on them, but the rubber is kind of hard now, so we'll be sliding a lot more than we will be with some new tires. I also want to get a little bit of gas through it, see how she runs, and I want to dump the oil one more time just to get it, make sure it's nice and clean in there. I don't know how often the guy changed the oil, but it was sitting for a while, so. suspension is definitely, it's stiffer than the Raptor. I can play with the settings. I have them at standard settings right now, so I've heard people say they back out the compression quite a bit on them. It's very go-kart feeling, like just stays flat and slides. Gonna be a big change from 700. Yeah, I'm just getting no traction on those back tires. No grip at all. There's a couple more things I want to do to it maintenance-wise too. I'm going to do besides a second oil flush, I want to do bleed the brakes. Run fresh brake fluid through it, and then obviously tires. What's up, guys? Kids back here riding their dirt bikes. Good to see. Whew. She doesn't have a lot of engine braking. Not a lot of inertia. It pretty much feels two-stroke-ish. Yeah, she slows down without clutch very well. I mean, I'm literally coasting third gear right now. Oh, I'm sorry, that was second. Might have the idle up a little too high too. Yeah, sounds like it is. I'm gonna change that a little bit. Oh yeah, that sounds better, huh? Oh yeah, you can feel it, the difference when I come slow down. So the idle adjust knob on the throttle body on this is the same knob as the cold start button. If you just turn it with it in, that just raises and lowers the idle, and then if you pull it out, that's a cold start, like choke. Haven't really had to use the cold start, it seems to just start right out. Definitely boogies. And this is completely stock. Stock KFX, as most people know, the air intake is super choked up on these. The air intake tube specifically is really neutered. So when we do an air intake on this thing, that'll add the most power. They say it's 4 to 5 horsepower just on an air intake with this, and you get a lot more broader power range. I mean, honestly, right now it feels pretty good. It feels more than you would need for trail riding. I'm gonna start off with a slip-on and a fuel tuner. Alright, I softened up the suspension a little bit. Let's see how that feels. I loosened the front. The back feels not bad. I did like 3 or 4 out more on the compression and a couple out on the rebound. Oh, yeah, you can feel the difference already. Get the front dialed, then I'll work on the rear a little bit, see if it needs any adjustment. I like to do one at a time so you don't kind of get confused where you're at, so you can feel the difference. If you do the front and rear at the same time, then it's hard to know what's doing what. Yeah, see, I'm kind of just cruising 5th. But it'll rev up real fast, too. So, definitely taking some use to get into the ergonomics. Because it's totally different than a Raptor. I haven't been on a, like I said, different quad for a long time. I'd say the last sport quad I owned, before I started buying Raptors, several years ago, was Polaris Outlaw 500 with the IRS and Suzuki Z400, LT Z400. And those just, you know, ergonomics are a lot different than a Raptor. And this is just light years different. It's awesome in a lot of ways, but Raptor's got it beat in a couple of ways too. The bars definitely needs to come up on this a little bit. I think slightly taller bar, or maybe like a +1 stem, would make a world of difference. Even I think just rolling these bars forward just a little bit. You're definitely using all the gears on this machine. It's not the Raptor. I'd be 3rd, 4th gear right here, 4th gear probably. You know, I'm in 5th right now. Kind of cruising down here. We're probably going 35, 40, if I had to guess. I mean, it's got more juice in the tank, but it's not as tall a gearing as the Raptor for sure. So we'll go this way. There's some loose rocky areas and stuff like that. Just a more whooped out section too. Some rollers. Yeah, it feels good there. It definitely feels better with the flickers out that more. Very soft that way. Oh yeah. Yeah, it lands those little roller jumps really nice. I keep going for another gear and I'm already in 5th. I'm just used to with the Raptor, you can click it up into 5th and it'll just lug. See how she does lugging. Yeah, she's, I mean, honestly, it's really happy with doing it like this. I mean, look how good it lugs right here. That was third gear, actually. Here's first. And she comes alive as soon as you touch the gas. See how much it'll tractor without stalling. It's gonna stall. Dude, better than I thought. Fires right back up. Alright. The shocks take the trail junk pretty good, like the little water bars. I'm not complaining about the suspension, I tell you. It's definitely stiffer than the Raptor is. The Raptor's very squishy, but it's also very bouncy. So a lot of times when you land off something, it's a tendency to rebound, bounce. Front shocks feel great right now the way I got them. So right now I'm at, I think stock settings are 9 compression out, 9 rebound. I think I'm at 12 rebound and 15 on the compression out. I feel really good. I'm gonna work on the rear shock to drop. Some loose rock piles coming up over here. Thank God for the new skid plates, PRP. This. I'm in second there. Let's keep it in second. Oh yeah, very nice. Very nice and controllable. Up that loose rock. Skid plate's doing its job. Show you how this reverse works. This thing's awesome. So push it in, down, and reversed. Oh, hit neutral. Let's talk about what my thoughts are on this thing. Alright guys, so what are my thoughts here on this thing? Well, let's break it down. Suspension, power first. We'll talk about that. In terms of power, I think it's got all the power you need specifically for trail riding. Honestly, if you're just trail riding one of these, personally, I think it needs an exhaust just because the motor is very revvy. So it's almost hard to hear what gear you're in. It's just because the motor just revs out so fast, it's constantly screaming. So an exhaust would help with that, with the driving experience, even if it's not a loud one, just something with a little thump. And in terms of that, I think what we're going to do is, well, I'll talk about that after this, what future mods are going to be. But so power feels really good. I'm very pleased with the power, actually. A lot of people said it's pretty docile 450, and it's definitely not going to rip your arms off, but it's definitely faster than a 400 is for sure. This bike here has more lower to mid power instead of just on top, so which is what everybody said about him. In terms of suspension, we made a little tweaks. Originally, when I got it home and I went through the whole bike and all that, I put all the suspension at stock settings. And then what I did from there, since I've been out here today, is I dialed the compression on the front shocks out to 15 out. Stock is, I think, 9 or 10. So I'm out to 15. There's still 5 more clicks of adjustment left going out that way. But it feels really good the way it is there. And I'm about like 12 out on the rebound. The front end feels mint that way. Rear shock feels pretty good. I softened up the slow speed a couple clicks and the rebound a couple clicks. High speed is at stock settings. So I think, in terms of like rideability, it's everything I hoped it was going to be when I picked it up, and I looked at it, and I thought it was underneath the filth, pretty cherry, and I think I was right. This is the first time taking it out. It's the first shakedown run. Definitely not disappointed. Looking it over, I don't see anything leaking. I've shut it down and started it back up several times, and it fires up instantaneously as soon as you hit the start button. I think in terms of it being a good, solid foundation, good bike, it is what I thought it was going to be, which, thank God, you never know what you're going to get when you buy used. In terms of suspension, too, I will say I would classify the suspension as, it's not pillowy soft like a Raptor suspension is, where it feels very bouncy and soft. This feels more, definitely race inspired. It's more firm, but it's compliant at the same time, if that makes any sense. So it's definitely, like, you can, like railing it down these trails and like you get these little water G-outs and stuff like that, and they hit them, and you don't get out of sorts. There's no like, oh my God, that hurt, hitting it. It just soaks them up and keeps on going. It keeps it from, it's not bouncy. So it's sport car suspension kind of, it takes the bump and then keeps the bike, what it's tracking where it's supposed to be tracking. It doesn't get out of sorts. So in that regards, it's really nice. Hitting the little rollers and stuff like that coming off. When the front tires do come off the ground and it lands, you don't even feel it. So that's really nice. So I'm really happy with the suspension, actually, with the way it is right now. I think the next things what we're going to do to it is, it definitely needs tires. I have like zero traction out here, like none. So that's going to really help too with feeling how the bike handles with tires without traction. And it's kind of a crapshoot. So when we get tires on here, they're actually gripping. Be able to tell a little bit more too about how it handles. But I think it handles really nice. And then we'll do, so that'll be the next set of mods. We got a couple little things we're going to do to it, like a new bar pad, stuff like that. This one's all like, this is a stock one. It's a little gouged up in the front, and the vinyl's flaking off. So I ordered a new one with the green. And then I'd like to maybe do some flag hand guards, some green Richards flag hand guards on it. And but we're going to do a set of tires. I'm not sure what I'm going to go with yet. I'm thinking about a desert setup, like a little bit bigger than stock. Maybe even just 21s in the rear, but and that'll also make the gearing a little bit longer too. And I'm definitely want to do, these are 21s in the front now. I definitely want to go to 22s in the front, kind of like the Raptor has. It's more of a desert setup. So I think I might do like a 22, 21 setup instead of a 21, 20. That'll just give it, you know, a little bit more. And I think that might be nice for out here. And then we'll get a set of paddles for, on a separate set of wheels for the dunes. Definitely want to get this out in the sand, test her out there. Mods after that, you know, the tires and stuff, we're going to do a fuel tuner and a slip-on. We're going to do the Pro Circuit exhaust. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm 90%. That's the route I want to go. The Pro Circuit is, from everything I've seen, that's where all the factory teams ran back in the day on these. So I like to do that, kind of like a nostalgia wise, and put a Pro Circuit on there, and a piggyback fuel tuner, and then we will do the FCI intake, but down the road. We'll do it in stages. So I want to feel the difference that each thing makes. So we'll do just the slip-on exhaust and a fuel tuner, and then we'll do the FCI intake. On these bikes, a lot of guys ran just slip-ons because the headers came with a pretty nice header from the factory. It's a titanium header. Supposedly you don't get much horsepower at all changing the headers on these. It's mostly the slip-on and the fuel tuner. You'll get a few horsepower, and then the FCI intake makes, you know, 4 to 5 more horsepower opening up the airbox. So that's what's going to be the big gainer. And I don't really think it needs a ton of power, honestly. So we're just going to do the slip-on, the fuel tuner, and then down the road we'll do the FCI. And this way we'll see how much that FCI alone gives it in power. In terms of cosmetics, stuff like that, we'll probably do some front bumpers. Some front bumpers, I say, like there's more than one, but we'll do a front bumper, maybe a grab bar too in the back. I don't know about that one, but definitely a front bumper, I think. And we already got the Peak Racing skid plate on there, which is really nice. It's doing its job today for sure out here in the desert. And we'll change the heel guards probably. I don't think I'll do full nerfs. I might, you never know. I changed my mind like the wind, you know, but so we may do full nerfs, but I probably definitely gonna do just heel guards. Let's see if I can get a set of, I've seen Pro Armor ones, like old stock or DG, whatever they were, on eBay. So I might pick those up. They weren't that expensive either, and they're aluminum. They're really nice looking. We'll end this one here, guys. I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for more. There'll be plenty more with this quad. I'm gonna do all the mods to it, take it on some more rides, take it to the dunes. So smash that thumbs up button, subscribe so you don't miss anything, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.